That's good.
No.
Yoda's theme is probably better.
That's a good one. Is there a single song that John Williams has made that isn't amazing?
No.
Probably.
Shut up.
We just haven't heard it.
He made the E.T., Superman, Indiana Jones.
Star Wars.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Obviously, yeah.
Jesus Christ. What is it? Like, seriously.
He's the best composer ever.
If one of
Better than Beethoven.
anybody made one of those, let alone all of them.
They'd be like amazing, yeah.
Hans Zimmer did.
Hans Zimmer is really good too. Danny Elfman's good.
Well, Hans Zimmer did the Batman series, and then
Nolan's?
hasn't done any good work since. As he just uses the same exact.
Oh,
But
that's
exactly what Dan's saying. Like, all you need to do is get one good one.
Mm-hmm.
But like John Williams was so brilliant that he was able to do it multiple times over. Hans Zimmer was like, "How about I put a blah?" And they're like, "Didn't you do that already?"
Like,
Blah!
No. But this one's louder.
There's a drum before this one.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we'll just get into it. Ready?
Yeah.
We're recording. So, hello, welcome back. Episode 5 of The Mandalorian we're talking about now.
Yes.
But this is episode, I think, it's going to be episode 8 of the podcast, so...
Did we catch the name of this episode? Gunslinger.
Okay, Gunslinger. Alright, so, I mean, I'll start with my opinion this time. I'm still joined by Dan and Tom, just because I normally ask one of you guys first. But, overall, this episode was pretty great, but, like, definitely on par with the others. I liked it.
Cool.
I liked it a lot. I don't know where I'd rank it, but definitely at least on par. And I would say the thing the best part about this episode was the character that we meet that's trying to get into the guild. I know this might be controversial because I didn't actually really think he was that great of an actor. I don't know if he's already famous or not. I don't know who it was.
I don't think so.
But yeah, but like he kind of reminded me of like like friends, like people from high school or college that are kind of like douchebags, and like
I'm sitting with two of them.
And so and like I don't know if he was told to play it like that. I don't know.
I think he was.
I don't know if he was just maybe wasn't a great actor, which actually I think added to the role because
I think
he was
it
trying
was
to
for the
act
character.
like he was trying to act tougher than he was though.
Yeah, I think
so,
he's a tryhard.
He was fake. He was fake.
Yeah, and so actually that I thought that ended whatever the consequence was. I thought it ended up really well, and I really just did not like this guy even from the beginning, but I just hated him more and more kind of throughout the episode because he was like kind of being an idiot, and then like he obviously ended up turning on Mando. So yeah, that was that's like the biggest takeaway from the episode. Well, that's unrelated to the series or the story plot at all. But anyway,
And the ending.
Yes, the ending, which we'll get into whenever you want. So if you want to talk about it now, go for it.
All right. Here's the part where Tom talks about James being full of shit.
Me? Why?
Well, no,
I didn't say anything.
No.
See, usually
I'm
he says I'm full of shit.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'll give you your turn.
Normally I'm full of shit.
We'll get to that.
All right. Because I'm gonna take a different point on that guy.
Oh, okay.
I think he played it perfectly to what they were trying to do because they wanted him to be this like try hard. I mean, look how big a tryhard he is. He's sitting in Han Solo's exact seat.
He probably doesn't know that though.
No, I know, but it's
trying
the
to look like
symbolism
that.
of the character, and he's sitting in the same way Han Solo was sitting in, and he but you can tell he's too young to be that cocky, and also like he's got a very big try-hard energy to like you see it in kids. You see it in kids all the time when kids are like. When they hang out with older kids, they're like, I'm like, I drink.
Yeah, I drink.
I love Kool-Aid. No, alcohol. But like, I thought he played it well to the character. I've never seen him in anything else either, so I don't know if this is just like a typecast for him. I could see him playing a lot of different characters like this because he played, what would be the word for it? He played, young and fake confident.
Okay, yeah.
He had a lot of bravado, but it was like really there was nothing behind it.
Yes.
Case in point, when the Tusken Raiders arrive, and he's like, "Yeah, they're filth. I'll kick their asses." And then he's like, "Why don't you tell them?" And he's like, "Oh, jeez, Rick. Ooh, I'm Mr. Poopy Buttle."
Yeah.
But yeah, so I really like that the character arc, but he proves to be a little bit more cunning and a little bit
smarter
than he.
No, that's why I actually that's when I really disliked him when he killed their target, original target, was because he's a freaking idiot if he's gonna try and go against this guy, the Mandalorian guy.
He
you know
is.
What I mean? I could
but that's part of the being overconfident for his abilities.
See, right? Okay, I'll give you that. But that was the point when I was just like, wow. I mean. Then again,
I guess that point you knew he's done.
He hasn't been watching the show with us, so it's like he doesn't know how badass the Mandalorian is. Like, obviously, that's supposed to be kind of obvious. But
he didn't even She had to basically tell him the story of what he'd done to know how the extent of his badassery.
Yeah, I don't know if he got his Disney Plus subscription yet. That's the problem.
He lives in a non-North American country and didn't get it yet.
I think for me, he's a wet noodle.
Mm-hmm.
He is just. Everything you just said, I think, is very true. I think the actor did a good job making you believe that he didn't know what he was doing. So, kudos to him, because I do think it was on purpose. I don't think that the rest of this series that's been pretty well produced so far would just let a whole episode that's pretty much dedicated to this guy and this story and this episode go to a guy that's just not going to be a good actor to believe his part. And I think he was believable as this in over his head...
Very overconfident.
I guess going back to my point in the other episode we did, I'm gonna go and revise it now because I just think that if you play like an RPG and you get a side quest, this show is a little bit about you go on a side quest and then the side quest bequeaths another side quest which bequeaths the next episode.
It's basically like playing Fallout, the good ones.
And you play Skyrim or Oblivion back in the day, and it was like you go into a cave and you have to kill all these people and then you find something that leads you to somewhere else and then it's very much that vibe right now. I personally think there's going to be a larger arc with the Sanctuary planet. I think there's going to be in some way, shape, or form a return to that before the end of the season because I just think that you get the feeling from the Mandalorian that he doesn't love his lifestyle and that he just does it because he has to. And I think that I really think that he'd be looking for something more stable where he doesn't need to be doing this. That's my prediction. I think he's good at it, but I think we've seen enough of his side where he actually wants to be more, like we said, a little bit more put your guard down and just have a place to be where you're not.
Oh yeah, he showed inklings of that. With the woman in Sanctuary.
And I don't think we've seen the last of her. I don't think we've seen the last of this. I just think that for showing more of his development, we're seeing these other side quests, if you will, So that's. But I will say, when exactly that'll happen, no idea. Because now it seemed like we were building.
That's fair, because I don't think we have a To what you're saying about quests, what is the main quest right now?
It has to do with Baby Yoda.
Yeah, the main quest would be to get the
he's
Baby
not
Yoda
on a
safe.
determined path right now.
He isn't, exactly.
He's just flying through space. He's got the baby. There's no end goal right now.
Well, I think he wants...
There will be.
I think the rational brain is or the rational goal would be to get rid of Baby Yoda, pawn him off on somebody where he knows he'll be safe so that he can just go do whatever the fuck he wants to do.
He tried to do that in Sanctuary.
Exactly, yeah.
And the ego is saying, I need to help Baby Yoda. The super ego is saying, I really should help Baby Yoda. And the id just wants to go back and fuck that girl from the Sanctuary.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So, but no, I personally think he wants to... Because his ultimate goal is probably to just get the Mandalorians, as healthy as possible.
Yeah, back to prominence.
Yeah, but...
we'll probably since they're not in the new series, they probably are all going to die horribly in one episode. Right? We would have seen them. We would have seen them in the new series.
Or maybe it's they're just still underground. They don't.
Yeah, possibly.
It's very possible. We don't know.
And then maybe that could be what Rian Johnson's series is.
Never say that name.
Because Rian Johnson's doing...
I didn't know this.
He's doing a trilogy of Star Wars side movies.
I did not.
They had canceled it, but I think they brought it back.
Interesting.
So anyway,
Disney is the master of saying something and then just a few months later, when less people are paying attention, recanting on it.
Yeah.
They did that with James Gunn for
for Guardians
and stuff like that. But anyway,
so
total sidetrack.
I was reading a thing, not the sidetrack, but it is Star Wars related, and it's related to Episode 9 dropping in about 2 weeks. Dropping, nice. Little shameless plug.
I don't get it.
Okay, we're gonna keep going. So I was reading theories about Hayden Christensen making an appearance in episode 9.
No way, really? I did not know that.
So the theories involve him getting a lot of money?
Probably. I think that's the only way he appears in episode 9. But
only money.
I think that has to happen for him to be there. But
you need to give me $8 million.
I think the reason that
we're gonna offer you 10, sure.
The reason that this is being speculated is because Ian McDiarmid and Hayden Christensen have been doing.
Say that name again.
Ian McDiarmid.
That's fine.
Who is that? I don't
That's
know.
That's
Spoilers.
the actor's name, who was easily one of the best actors in Star Wars, right up there with Ewan McGregor and
he
Alec
gets
Guinness.
A sexual vibe from being evil. In episode 3, he's just like, oh, good, Lord Vader, kneel down. Oh no, don't kneel.
Oh, right there. Oh, okay, yeah. So,
anyway,
Anyway, they've been doing
the operation quite. Sorry,
they've been doing. Yes. Now you're distracted. They've been doing events with fans where they would both appear together.
Really?
And so why that begs the question?
Yeah.
Okay, why these two?
Force Ghost.
We get it that Force Ghost,
That's
Palpatine might come back.
I would guess that.
And then why Hayden Christensen?
Well,
Hayden Christensen also showed up at Galaxy's Edge a few months ago, and there was a big deal about that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And there was another thing, which I forget exactly what it was, but they both appeared at a public event in Los Angeles, and people started photographing and videotaping it, and security said, no photography, no nothing. Almost as if they don't want to spoil anything at a time. Now, I don't remember exactly what event that was, but the source I was reading, of course, to give me a lot of credibility here, I don't remember the source either.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because they're just postulating a theory, right?
Yeah,
like, it's possible that these are related, and they really want to keep this under wraps.
So
I personally think there's a chance he comes back because we still don't know what the rise of Skywalker means.
So you're saying the Illuminati is confirmed?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
All right. I think that. I'm sorry. I have a theory. Back to the Mandalorian episode.
Back to what we're supposed to be talking about.
The
Disney might not pay us this week, Dan, because you started talking about potential spoilers.
Yeah, that's true.
So I have a
We're
different
taken off the air.
Yeah.
off of our own air. I do have a different take as well on. Oh, sorry. A critique of the episode as a whole.
Go for it.
I think too much familiarity. A little bit too reliant on seeing old stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of old lines recycled. He says, she's no good to us dead. That's what Boba Fett says about Han Solo in episode 5. Like, the character in the beginning of the episode says, I can bring you in cold, warm or cold.
Yeah.
And he says, that's my line. It's funny. That in that circumstance, I think it works better.
Okay.
But I feel... And that's a cheesy opening to the episode, and I like it. Very 80s action TV show intro where he's like, oh, I'm gonna get you, and then he flips the tables. Get the line from the main character. You're fired. And then the bad guy's like, no.
Yeah.
But
whoever was the actor for the pilot that got killed, I fucking love that
great
guy.
Yell.
Yeah, it was a very great yell.
But I think a little bit too much banking on familiarity, just like hot words.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the episode, spoiler, when he kills the kid. I don't know if you guys heard it at the very end. She goes, throw him, get this womp rat out of here. And the droids...
They said, throw him in Beggar's Canyon.
Beggar's Canyon, which is mentioned in episode 4.
Yep.
What else? The Tusken Raiders didn't really need to be there at all. Although it was very interesting that the Mandalorian seemed... Because, the I'm going to call him... plucky sidekick character.
Okay.
The other guy's like, like Tusken Raiders fan, I could take him in my sleep. They're scum. And the Mandalorian, in a very woke moment, but also, so it's woke, but it's also fitting for his character so it's woke in the meta narrative of like, they're basically, oh god, I'm going to sound like a film student.
Go for it.
But it's very Native American to white settler thing. And Mandalorian goes, to the, like, because he said, oh yeah, they're like hostile on our land, and he goes, well, technically it's their land. They've, they're the natives, and like everyone else is an outsider. That's very, for a meta narrative, that's very interesting to Americans, and Canadians, and anyone that lives in a nation that immediately. But anyway, But in the actual narrative of the show, it works. It's not just like fake Disney wokeness where they're just doing it for woke's sake. It also works because from what we've seen from the Mandalorian as a character so far in his backstory, he had his home invaded during the Clone Wars, it looks like. And, we can't confirm it yet, like, exactly what happened.
Right.
But, so, he has a sort of kinship. Also, the Mandalorian's being purged by the Empire.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
has a kinship, in a way, with the Tusken Raiders. They have an understanding, which is, I thought that was cool that he sees the strife that the Empire caused to other races that aren't just his own, and he, commiserates with them.
No,
Not fully, but...
I liked that part, actually. I liked that. I mean, I think you're right. Was it really necessary? Probably not. But, also, I think it just...
Fleshes his character.
It fleshes his character out to show... Yeah, exactly. He clearly has preferred methods of doing things. He's not going to engage in a fight when he doesn't need to.
Yeah. And in the story, it doesn't really do anything.
No.
Because they're literally there for 2 seconds just to flesh his character out. Otherwise, they provide no... Because, they just, they're like, we need to get passage through. Yeah. But passage just involves them giving him the binocs.
Yeah.
You could cut that whole
encounter
they just never keep them on their speeders.
It's
just there for the Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's almost like...
I love breaking things down to the point that I ruin all the fun.
That kind of thing will come back up, though, later on at some point for continuity. Because there isn't anything else that we can gain out of that sequence, right? The sidekick guy is dead. The Tusken Raiders are on Tatooine, and as soon as he leaves Tatooine, he doesn't deal with them anymore.
Yeah.
So the only thing we're taking away from it really is that he knows how to deal with Tusken Raiders, and I guess by extension, probably doesn't choose to deal with potential adversaries as adversaries.
Doesn't like Jawas, though.
Yeah.
So we know which side of the Mos Eisley hunt he picked in Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original.
However,
he was a Tusken.
Yeah.
Originally, he was trying to attack the Jawas because they had stolen parts from a ship, but then he did deal with it civilly afterwards.
That's true, but he also did try to burn them to death.
That is true. But
that was great.
I forgot that part. Damn it.
Yeah. But anyway, anything else anybody wants to say?
I do, because I can't shut up.
Oh, right, the ending.
Oh, yeah.
So you have 2 things you want to say now.
The familiarity wasn't all bad. Also, just seeing Tatooine as a whole again was pretty cool and very well recreated.
Yes.
The only thing I didn't like in Mos Eisley was that they went to the same exact bar they went to in episode 4.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, I know they wanted to do it to make this kid look even more like a tryhard, to be in Han Solo's actual seat, which, by the way, they should have had a blaster mark behind Han Solo.
I thought about that.
Because in the new canon, Greedo shot first.
I know, but it's an Easter egg that he technically didn't shoot first. I don't know.
They just scrubbed the walls.
Yeah,
But anyway,
there should have. I actually thought the same thing too. Yeah.
But also, fun thing. It's neither good nor bad. Droids were running that place.
I thought about
no
that,
droids
too.
in the original. They go, get your droids out of here. We don't like their kind. Now they're running the place.
That's true.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too. I couldn't. I guess it's just whatever.
After the fall of the Empire, I guess things are just a lot different.
But where is the music?
Hey, there's no more music. It's like Footloose.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's no more dancing, no more music.
Which is funny because I thought the Empire, the space Nazis, were gone.
They are. Yeah, their heads are on pikes.
Yeah.
That's true.
That was my favorite visual of the series so far.
100% agree. Yeah.
100%.
100.
Keep
it 100.
And the one other thing is I do actually wish they had kept the kid character alive. The guy, the turncoat, plucky sidekick. He
the wet noodle
had the potential with the scene that we talked about where he shoots the bounty, and he has such an interesting. That is a great stepping stone to being a badass character eventually. He starts out as this kid that's way overconfident, way over his head, and it would be a great arc for him. There's an arc there where and it reminds me of the old Star Wars Bounty Hunter video game where Jango Fett's main adversary is another old Mandalorian who's in it for the hunt and not for the money. That's exactly what this character is. They kind of plastered
That's true, yeah.
His name's Montross in the old canon. And they kind of plucked a lot of aspects of him and threw it onto this guy. And how cool would it be, hypothetically, if he survived that shot and later in the series he comes back as a bigger threat because now he has that cutthroat experience.
Yeah.
And now maybe he disappears for a while and he trains and becomes like a hardened badass and he's not this plucky kid with no bite anymore. now he also knows how the Mandalorian ticks. He proves to be somewhat, even though he's very, whatever, old man. And he has the scene where he twirls the gun and he's like, sleeping on the job, which is great.
Yeah.
And the Mandalorian's like, you done? And he's like, yeah. It's setting up really well, if they were to keep him, for him to have such a great character arc where he could, in the future, now that he's had this experience, he does not fall for this stuff anymore. He is not this little kid that like twirls his gun around like a little child.
Yeah. I
don't know. I really would like to see him back in the show at some point. And if the actor has the range, all of a sudden, maybe this is end of the season stuff. Maybe this is like, this would require probably a time jump because you need the kid to like learn some stuff in between all this to get.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying I'm saying it's a wasted opportunity.
I don't know. I do agree with you. That makes a lot of sense. But the one thing counterpoint I would say to that is you can't. We were just talking about actually before we started recording or before we watched this episode. I don't remember exactly, but it feels like not really anybody has died. You know what I mean? Like
this episode rectified that a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, 2 new characters that we hadn't met before, they both died. You know, so I think that's fine because if you like kept everybody alive or like everybody like they died off screen, so you're not sure if or they air quotes died off screen, so you're not sure if they actually died.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. Like a little bit more permanence to it.
Yeah,
it's
you're right. They haven't killed off many people yet.
Yeah, but
you said it too, Carl Weathers. Although that was good setup and payoff.
Yes,
and I
absolutely.
forgot I have another. I'm sorry. I'm just never gonna stop talking.
The very ending?
No,
because you still need to talk about that.
I know. I have one other thing.
All right. Anyway, so wait. But long story short, all I have to say is, like, if they had killed Carl Weathers, though, that would have been freaking mind blowing, and I would have liked it a lot. Yeah, I do like his character, so I don't want him to be gone.
Hey, Mando.
Yeah. So there's a difference there, but anyway, yeah. So what were you saying?
Yeah. So this series is really good at setup and payoff. Mm-hmm. They failed at one thing in this episode.
What?
When the Mandalorian first gets shot by the sniper from very far range, he says, the guy goes, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, the Beskar got it. At this range, it held up." Later on, when they get on the swoop bikes and they gain a lot of ground, you've seen how fast those things go, so they gained a lot of ground moving towards her with the flares in the air. He gets hit from way closer in.
Yeah, right in the chest.
Going by his logic was the Beskar held up because of the range. He should be dead.
He didn't say what.
He got shot 5 times.
He didn't say
5 times.
He said earlier. Yeah, he said they held up at this range.
At this range doesn't mean just that point, though.
Yeah.
Could be...
I mean, but you could also argue...
She hit him with a high-powered sniper from in close.
Yeah.
He should be dead.
The only thing that you could argue is the chest might be more heavy-duty than, like, his shoulder or something like that,
Where was he hit the first time?
It looked like...
The chest. He's got a blaster mark on his chest.
That was at the end. That was the second time.
I would say that...
If he gets hit in the back. We know he gets hit in the back when he's running up the hill.
That's what I was thinking.
If it's not a plot hole... Because I feel like I'm doing a somersault to defend the show. But I do think they never clearly said, like, I'm at least 500 meters out. It's not going to hit.
Yeah.
Because, like, it could just be... Like, I'm with you. Obviously, he's much closer.
Yeah.
But, like, there just wasn't a specific number or distance given. And I feel like to me, that's enough to be like... All right.
Yeah, I was just frustrated with the...
It also might not have been a
go out of
direct
their way.
hit. Because, it was a hit, but it might not have... Because he was moving, and there might...
he wasn't moving. He was just standing there.
The second time.
The second time. And the thing is, my guess is that it might... Because his chest plate, it was like kind of steamy and
thicker.
Stuff. My guess is, obviously that it's thicker, but it's probably also ruined. Like, he might just need a new chest plate now.
We'll see. If that's the start of the next episode, that'd be very good continuity.
That would, yeah.
Because the good continuity...
But he can't get a new chest plate, though, because the Mandalorian people are... Whatever, they're not on the planet
anymore. We'll see. They might have found a new nook and cranny to hide in.
Yeah.
I guess I was just... when you go through that...
I 100% agree.
When you go through that effort to set that idea up...
We're at 24 minutes, peeps.
Okay. All right, so I'll just skip to the last thing. The very last scene, we see a pair of feet walk towards the dead bounty, who, by the way, damn it.
What?
I will be very short there's a possibility for more background. She was an old assassin for like the Hutts and stuff. She is dressed in what is close to
right.
She's dressed in close to Inferno Squad armor from Star Wars Battlefront 2's campaign, which is canon. So I thought it was interesting. Yeah. She's not Inferno Squad because that's a 3-man squad of like named characters in the canon. But I thought it was pretty cool. So it looks like Imperial armor. I do like seeing that. I like seeing the refurbished Rebel armor from the Gina character from the last episode.
Yeah, that was good.
Her name's not Gina. Gina is the name of the actress from Deadpool that played the tough woman shock trooper. To the ending, I believe it's Boba Fett.
Because
you know
of
why?
the
It
jingles.
wasn't. I actually, not just the jingles of his spurs.
The jangles?
The jangles.
Yeah.
No, you hear what sounds like his visor going down. There's a noise when his visor goes down, and it scans, and it almost sounds like the noise that if this is true, I'm going to just like stand up. I clapped, like from Red Letter Media, which we're not affiliated with.
If it is Boba Fett, you think it's a good thing for the show?
Could be. I've trusted them so far with most of the stuff. Most of the stuff, though I have talked shit this episode. It's not really talking shit. It's more like nitpicking for the most part. Yeah. Except for the one thing where I still stand by. They halved their range to target was very close. The Mandalorian should be dead. My headcanon says the Mandalorian's dead, and the rest of the show is a dream. I was dying on the floor of Tatooine.
So about the Boba Fett thing, I think it would be the best way that I think to satisfy the most people would be to keep it very far in the background for now.
Very far
in the background. Like make it so he doesn't show up really much more this season. Maybe it's like we see inklings of him or yeah, right.
Last episode.
Inklings of him or what's the word? Like just little signs that he was around, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I like that. Well, just little breadcrumbs.
Yeah, exactly. Cause and then leave it very ambiguous. Like you don't know if he's gonna come up in the second season.
Maybe we see a fully naked man,
and
then we're like,
with the helmet on.
New Zealand child. That's the New Zealand guy.
That played him.
That played him.
I didn't know it was a New Zealand.
Tamara Morrison.
Well,
he played Django.
Supposedly it's
Daniel
supposed to be what
Lloyd.
Boba looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea because I think
don't blow your load this season. You know, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, they got it. They'll do it to finish off the season. They will.
Maybe.
But I think I like the idea
with
of hinting at it. I think that with this they could find a way to make this work well.
Yeah.
But I am troubled by the trend of let's just resurrect every character that was interesting.
Yep.
And
that's why I was glad they killed these characters this episode. Unless they resurrect, in which case I'm not happy. But if they are,
every character. But like this is a larger Star Wars trend and Disney for that matter.
Yep.
Let's just resurrect anything that was interesting in the past because
the Emperor.
We are somehow running out of ideas. The Emperor, Darth Maul is back.
I think he
never died apparently either.
Well, he is dead. He gets killed in Rebels.
Well, his lower half is dead.
No, he gets killed definitively in Rebels.
When does Rebels take place?
Rebels takes place between 3 and 4, but after Solo.
Oh.
So, because in Solo, he during the rest of the Clone Wars, with his robot legs, he's running a crime ring.
And then that makes sense in Solo.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, so I'm not a big Rebels fan, but in the best, I'm doing air quotes, everyone, the best episode of Rebels, Obi-Wan looking like Sir Alec Guinness from the original, has one more duel with Darth Maul, who tracks him down in Tatooine. They have a 2-second duel. It's the anime. It's like in every anime when the characters cross paths.
Oh, really?
You know, they go like
yeah,
and it pauses, and then one character goes.
So Darth Maul is cut in half again.
He doesn't get cut in half. He gets He actually gets stabbed.
Saber to the stomach.
It's like a 2-second
like
fight.
How that does it, but getting cut in half.
Yeah, that is like there are cases of people living for like a long time. Not a long time, I don't know, but like surprisingly long amount of time. It takes a while to die.
But then he fell down
Yeah,
I don't know.
He only landed at going Mach 3 head first on the.
Yeah.
He's alive.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Good point, Dan. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
It's like, okay,
Palpatine got robot legs, but his head exploded.
Palpatine fell down a planet, and he's back. And he's back.
Well, Dan, he just fell into space, and he used a force bubble around him to save oxygen for 30 years.
It's like, if this galaxy is so big...
But we need the same characters over and over again.
I was literally about to say
That's why I'm angry they killed the new
characters. If the galaxy is so big and we can write constant canon and then rewrite it eventually later, we can decide.
Then we scrap everything and just put the known character
the same
on top
6
of it.
people back in.
This is
yes.
They did it with. They've done it before. They did it with Star Wars 1313, the canceled bounty hunter game. That I think 1313 had a lot of influence on this show.
That makes sense.
I think we've talked about it before, but in that game, initially it was just going to be you're playing as a random bounty hunter on Coruscant, and then when they were worried that there weren't going to be good enough sales, they were like, "Oh, he's Boba Fett now." This is what I mean. This is what Disney does because, well, actually, that's pre-Disney purchase, so they've been running out of ideas for a while. But this is what
I wouldn't say
this
George
is what
Lucas
they do
is
with
much
Star
better,
Wars.
but
This is what they do with Star Wars. Oh no, new thing isn't working. Recognizable face, recognizable face, recognizable place. Tatooine, Dune Sea, Beggar's Canyon.
Sad thing
swoop
is,
bikes.
Here,
Tusken Raiders.
Here, the only thing that was really familiar for a while was Baby Yoda, and like it was still working.
Exactly.
That's what bothers me.
That's
about
why
this.
this might be my least favorite episode. Not because it's not good, but
There's too
I
much.
have liked the disconnect from the rest of the series with light touches of, oh, you were a rebel shock trooper? Very interesting. That's it. That's all. ATSD, all right, works as a villain, works standalone too.
Yeah.
That's not reliant on you.
That's
That
true,
is just works as, it's almost like a monster.
Yeah.
We don't even see the pilots.
Yeah.
It's almost like a demonic monster with its red lights.
eyes.
And I like that.
Yeah.
It's almost like there's an air of mystery about it because you don't know what's going on.
It's almost like Star Wars was better when there was still an air of mystery about stuff.
That's when
Almost.
the minute everything fell apart is when they explained the Force.
Midi-chlorians, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That is the explanation.
Oh,
I know, Dan, you're a big Yoda guy.
Oh, big.
The explanation that Yoda gives in Episode 5 about the Force,
it's
surrounds.
fantastic.
That is all that should have ever been about it.
Yep. He says something about like life surrounds it, makes it grow, all that stuff, and you're just like sitting
All
there
you
like,
need
this
to
is
know.
the best. This is better than the Bible.
You're not wrong. It is a religion.
It literally, and they describe it like a religion.
It may be
in
hokey.
Episode 4, a hokey religion, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But that's what it's about. It's about believing in it as much as
It's about family.
practicing it.
It's about
It-
family.
Got funny characters that we've ever had before.
They killed.
If we get them to work,
They took all. They literally just went from faith to science in one flip of the switch.
and not good science.
Not good science. Faulty
Not like
science. That doesn't.
They were
make
just
sense.
like, oh yes, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
So you're telling me this isn't a religion, but then someone was immaculately conceived, Anakin.
Yeah.
What is a
Hello.
religion?
Yeah. Well, I rest there.
All right.
Yes.
Dan rests his case.
I
We
rest
rest
the
for
case.
this podcast episode.
One other question.
Tom does not.
I am so sorry. Do you guys have? If it's not Boba Fett, do you think it's Carl Weathers? Just like tracking him
It's
down?
possible.
That actually is an interesting thought. Yeah.
I think that would make. I think I would like that more.
My
to be
guess
honest.
though is that it was probably just in general another bounty hunter trying to get that bounty. Right? They came and they're like, "Oh shit, this person's dead." Like,
We
they
see at
didn't
the
know.
beginning of the episode.
Okay,
he's
but
chased
like
by bounty
let's
hunters.
just also
exactly.
let's consider
So-
this a little bit further too. Like,
I would say that.
Let's
like,
consider this for 45 more minutes.
Yeah, I would say the best option, the two likely options are it's either somebody we know or somebody we don't know.
I think
That's really all we
so
got.
that's pretty much any possible person.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I think, hey, if you're not going to show their face, we know who it is.
Yeah.
That's why I think
Or
it's Boba Fett.
well, that's the thing is they might not. They might want to keep it ambiguous. Like we know somebody's after them and they could
That's a
show up
fake
any
out.
time.
As a fake out.
Not that they're trying to think.
What if the guy's wearing Boba Fett's armor, takes the helmet off, there's another helmet, it's Boosh, Leia Boosh, and then they take off that helmet, and it's a Stormtrooper helmet, and then they take off that helmet, it's a Scout Trooper helmet, then they take off that helmet, it's Kylo Ren.
Damn.
No,
Before he was born.
I was gonna say Watto, but
Oh wow.
Only money!
Yeah.
I should have known he had wings coming out the back of his armor.
Oh, I can't believe we missed
Yeah.
that.
But,
Damn.
okay.
And I gave him money, and he said, oh, only that.
even if Boba Fett's still alive, are we gonna really trust? Because the only way I could see them wanting Boba Fett to go after Mando here. We're just gonna call him Mando because we have
Mando.
Again, there's no name. That's all we got. Mando. He wants to go after Mando. Then why are they gonna trust it to a guy who's been half digested for how many years when they could just get someone from their own order? That
Well, my guess is that
He's separate from the Order. He's not, technically he's been disowned by the Mandalorians.
no,
yeah,
in the canon.
Yeah.
Boba Fett or
Yes, Boba Fett has been disowned by the Mandalorians.
There's
George Lucas said in the canon. Well, think
so
of it
then
like
that's
this.
even a better point of saying why is he there, which I guess would have to be.
He could have
why?
stolen. He could have gotten the bounty from anybody. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
obviously, this kid, the whatever I forget his name, the kid in the
Plucky
episode.
sidekick.
the Wet Noodle
First
guy.
name Plucky, last name Sidekick.
Yeah, middle name Wet Noodle. He just brought the Mandalorian in on this. Like he didn't. I don't know if it was. I forget exactly.
It was more out of desperation. Can you help me?
Exactly. So that
my homework.
So it sounds like anybody could, in theory, turn in these pucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to whoever the bounty's from.
You have
right?
one. It sounds like you have one difficult bounty to start, and if you can prove
yeah.
yourself, then you. What was the thing we just said about Boba? With Boba, what I'm interested in is he is not a Mandalorian in this version of the canon because he is Jango isn't, because he's taken his helmet off and shown his face before, and technically the Mandalorian code, as told by this canon, is you can't take your helmet off, you can never put it back on and be a Mandalorian. So technically Jango's not a Mandalorian. Boba Fett, we haven't seen that face. We never saw Boba Fett's face as an adult. But technically, because he comes from the bloodline of a non-Mandalorian pretending to be a Mandalorian, he is also a non-Mandalorian.
Yeah. Well, but because the main character in this wasn't born a Mandalorian.
No,
you know what I mean?
it's a different. I think it's a different time too, because the Mandalorians are they were purged by the Empire, which makes me interested why they would hire a Mandalorian after they purged them to get Han Solo. But that's what happens when you retcon so many things that you ruin the original stuff. So maybe you should just stop making movies altogether.
But obviously
Star Wars should stop being a thing.
The Empire was obviously in more desperation than the Mandalorians, though.
I'm kidding. Disney can't give us money if they're not a thing.
so
I want money.
You think this might be a good place to leave it for the next episode?
Yeah, we'll leave it.
If you guys want me to go in the back room, I'll talk for 25 more minutes. I'll be there's also this thing. If you look into,
I think we're gonna get revoked by Disney if we.
Yeah. But all right, cool. Thanks for listening, guys. If you guys are actually interested in listening to our opinions on stuff, please leave a comment and share your thoughts too. Okay.
We're gonna talk about politics and religion for the next 40 minutes.